Dilmun burial mounds, originally estimated at 80,000 mounds, attracted the attention of travelers and explorers as early as the 19th century. Despite a tremendous drop in number as a result of rapid urbanization, the burials are considered today the largest prehistoric cemetery in the world in terms of sheer number and concentration. The tombs span the early Dilmun to the Tailus periods and have yielded significant information about the local society that produced them and its grounded belief in afterlife. This is the Hall of Graves. It is organized around the different types of burials that were recovered on the island. These are reconstructions of the actual burial mounds which were transferred stone by stone from the mound fields to this hall. They illustrate the typology and chronology of burials in Bahrain. In 2019, Dilmun burial mounds have been inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and became the Bahrain's third site to be inscribed in the World Heritage List. The earliest revolution of the types of burial mounds from Madinat Hamad is a clear representation of the tribal burial traditions, with around 28,000 mounds. Basic in form, the burial chamber was built of unworked limestone blocks surrounded by a small stone ring wall. This type of burial mounds remained uninterrupted for 550 years. The royal burial mounds of Ali came to rise as a result of the emergence of state and central royal authority, with 14 spectacular mounds characterized by two-story H-shaped burial chambers. Our excavation team also found the presence of wooden gates as a common element in royal palaces of that time. Despite the grave's typological analogies, the outstanding quality and diversity of the funerary deposits is remarkable. Exquisite painted pottery vessels and finely carved soft stone containers, bronze weapons, and pyramidal stamp seals were documented, showing close affiliations to the Second Iron Age of the Oman Peninsula material culture. Funerary traditions evolved drastically at the end of the late Dilmun era. Children, for example, buried in small earthenware pots and jars, and adults buried in a bathtub-style coffins made out of clay. The bodies were buried along with rich funerary materials, including glazed pottery vessels and jewelry. The Hall of Dilmun illustrates the island's cultural supremacy and trade dominance. The display traces the chronological development of Bahrain and features the most important archaeological sites on the island and their distinguished findings. In addition to the unique collection of Dilmun stamp seals, the Barbar temple treasure, the Sar settlement finds, and the distinguished Dilmun pottery constitute the highlights of the display. This hall explains the period of Tailus and Islam, which represents the Hellenistic Empire. The distinguished glass vessels, glazed pottery, and fine jewelry on display attest to the complexity of Tailus' trade network. The Islamic section highlights the important episodes in the history of Bahrain from the 7th century to the 18th century AD. The collection of Quranic manuscripts on display originates from various parts of the Islamic world and illustrates different calligraphic traditions. It reflects the diversity of Arabic calligraphy and the skills of calligraphers. Some rare and valuable manuscripts in Holy Quran dated to the 13th and 14th century. Also on display are important documents of the Al Khalifa ruling family that illustrate the progress and development of Bahrain in the 19th and 20th centuries. This hall illustrates different aspects of life on the island before the discovery of oil in 1930, by recreating varied daily events and special occasions in the lives of the Bahraini people. Birth ceremonies, traditional weddings and festivals, local medicine, and religious practices featured in the hall translate the local traditions and beliefs on the island. A major marketplace since the Bronze Age, Bahrain maintained its thriving commercial role through to modern times. The display recreates a traditional Bahraini souk, revealing its bustling atmosphere and highlighting local craftsmanship. The display also elaborates on the pearling heritage of Bahrain, which reflects a socio-cultural system based on pearling.
صيف البحرين